Ready on set, and action.
Oh, hey guys, it's so good to run into you again. Oh my gosh, come in the elevator. What floor are you going to? Oh, seven. Oh, you remember that opportunity I was telling you about? Well, this is the team. I know you want to learn a little bit more. So, we are disrupting the $25 billion gift card market. Our app, Delightly, is the fastest way to make someone's day. It lets people send send gifts to each other as quickly and easily as sending a text message.
For example, my friend Meg here gets a big promotion. I want to send her something nice. I pull open my Delightly app, choose the type of gift I want to give, let's say a martini. I then enter in the dollar value I want to send, write a little note of congratulations, fire it off to my friend.
I see that I have received a message from my friend Kurt, along with a suggested gift, a martini.
And when Megan wants to redeem that martini, she can open Delightly and it'll pull together a list of nearby watering holes for her.
I can then go to any bar or restaurant of my choosing and unlock the money to cover my drink.
Delightly charge $1 per transaction, creating a great catch-up-front revenue stream. Easy to send, easy to redeem. Delightly will change the way we do gifts.
Any questions on that?
I love giving gifts, but a lot of the time I'm a little too generous and I just keep giving gifts. And it's so easy for me. Like, how can I track my spending?
Well, you'll have a profile on my account section. You'll be able to see exactly how much you've spent by month and by year and by gift and by order.
It's connected right to your credit card and bank account, so again, it would just be like any other expenditure you would, where it's partially, you are given all those gifts, so you were going to see those on your bank account as well.
And maybe I missed it, but was there a feedback loop? Well, I know with what you do.
As soon as Meg here redeemed the martini, when she checks in, I'll get a notification, hey, Meg's enjoying your martini today.
And then she also has the opportunity to send a personalized thank you note as a follow-up if she'd like.
And the martini, how does the watering hole deal with this transaction?
Fortunately, they actually don't. So how the system works itself is that by Meg checking in via geolocation, the Delightly app actually pays Meg for the drink. So the drink is covered by me, essentially giving Meg a cash transaction. So that now she has this money from martinis into her bank account, and she can now spend like it's a free drink. And so she can actually even buy more there, so it's incentivizing her to, it's a little bit of a lead start on her drinking that night.
Yeah, and also we understand that we want it to be convenient for everybody, so this is a way to get all merchants automatically opted in, but then Delightly will recommend some good ones that are in her area.
So the watering hole just needs to accept whatever payment she chooses, and
Yep.
her account sits there.
That's right.
Can she transfer that money to a bank account or?
It should go directly into her bank account. She can either enter her debit card or she can enter her PayPal account if she's not comfortable doing that.
So both parties have to have that in order for this.
That's right.
Time.
In order to redeem.
Okay, time.
Cool. Well, we really love to try and set up an appointment next week, and we can walk you through a little bit more details. Great.
We are Delightly, the fastest way to make someone's day. We're first going to walk you through the customer experience of Delightly.
So from an experience perspective, we'll just assume the same use cases you saw in the elevator where I'm here in Soma and I've got my good buddy Marco who's across the country, just about to start a new job in New York. And I want to send a little love his way before he starts that new job. So from an overall look and feel perspective, we want to keep it lean and mean and do what we can to get the individual into the shopping experience as quickly as possible. We're also going to assume, for all intents and purposes, that both users already have the profile set up. As we'll be diving into those specifics a little later. But the screen opens up, I sign in, and I'm taken to a primary category page. And one of the things that we want to do here is, in hopes of keeping it lean and mean, only have a specific number of categories for users to choose from. It's not to overwhelm them right away. A lot of the other apps that we've seen in the market, you basically construct this 27-step process to get to it. We want to get you into it as quickly as possible. So you just swipe through and ultimately try and find the category that you want. In this case, I'm looking for some apparel. Select apparel, and I'm given some price point options. In $5 increments from $5 to $25. And so The products that fall under each of those correspond to the dollar amount. So if I select the $5 amount, I'll get different types of products that are around $5. And so in this case, I'm choosing 20, and I'll swipe through. Settle on a bow tie, because I know Marco loves bow ties. So I'll click that. Then I'll be given the opportunity to find Marco within my contacts list, and select Marco. Type in a nice little note. Congrats on getting a new job. Package it up nicely, and I'm brought to a confirmation screen, which basically outlines all the transactional details. Make sure that everything is as I want it. I click confirm, and off goes Marco.
Oh, congrats, so fun. Suddenly, boom, surprise. I received a note from Evan. Congrats on your new job. Your friend Evan has given you 20 pounds to put towards a new diet. That's a nice gesture. How can I redeem it? Well, I just click on it, and then instantly I receive some merchants in the area. That some of them are rated by Delightly. And I get to select where I want to redeem my gift. It's the closest, it's the best stores. I have this freedom, but still, to redeem my gift, I have to be in the store. I have to check in place in order to unlock my gift. I'm at the store, unlock, automatically the amount is transferred to my account, and now I can purchase my gift.
So now let's talk a little bit about the products and processes and systems that allow Delightly to function, and call out a few things in the experience that they didn't call out with the prototype. So if we start with the giver, a first-time user has a few setup steps that they need to do. They need to download the app, they need to create their profile, enter their payment info, and they need to sync up their contacts to enable all that functionality that you just saw. And then, as they just described, it's very easy steps to send. You open the app, you select the category, and then enter the contact and send Delight. This is the step, right when you send Delight, that's when Delightly captures the money. So if he's chosen a $20 gift, Delightly takes $21 and sits on that money until the user decides to redeem it, when they'll redeem their $20 gift, and Delightly keeps that $1. Going over to the receiver, a first-time user for the receiver receives a text message notification allowing them with a link to download the app. They download the app, and then they have the option to enter their payment info here, just to lock it into the system so that they can do very quick check-ins and unlocks whenever they receive gifts in the future. And then, as we said, the redemption process is very easy. They go to a store, they unlock it. It immediately kicks out a redemption notice that the giver receives. And then there's a follow-up loop with a thank you note. So let's talk a little bit about the customer touchpoints. We're going to do some targeted advertising. We have Delight.ly, some targeted search, and we're going to use social media quite a bit. Another really important thing to call out here is that we're going to use social media to our advantage to inspire gifters. We're going to integrate with Facebook with their birthday reminders, and LinkedIn with their new job and their job anniversary. So on the app, you'll be able to see when your friends are having these events, and it'll inspire you to send the gifts. Obviously, we'll have some technology in the back end, being that this is an app hosting. And we're also looking at what we're going to be able to do with the data down the road that we're collecting. Of course, we're working with the app stores and all the networks that enable all the transactions to go. And then with the financial transactions, we're really going to enable Visa, MasterCard, and Discover, as well as we're going to roll out with PayPal, in case people aren't comfortable with that.
And then looking down the road, we have some potential revenue streams where we would have promotional plays for certain brands or merchants within the app. And then in terms of our operations, you're looking at us, and our outsourced resources are going to be legal, accounting, and HR.
So finally, a little bit about the financials. For our financial model based on our assumptions here, we're looking at a user base built on some of these specifics here, where a lot of our heavy lifting of a 4 gifter per week is done by a very small user group. Otherwise, our majority of our user base is either giving about once a month to once a quarter, while even assuming that the largest chunk here, 40%, is actually not actively giving. They've just been recipients in order to become part of our community. Based on the fact that Delightly is taking $1 off the top of each purchase, on that user profile there, we're looking at about annually 4 cents per user per day. Looking at a typical social media growth phase, Hopefully by year 3, we're looking at about 10 million users, which is about half to a third of what blockbuster apps like we've seen something like Instagram or Snapchat or WhatsApp are seeing. This is a little bit more of a conservative figure there. While then our revenue based off of the 4 cents per day is going to be by year 3 about a little under $40 million. In terms of the costs, we're looking at primarily a systems features where first our card scanning software is actually free. Then it'll be about the key driver of our costs is mostly going to be from these interchange fees, which is about 2% of these transactions. Finally, as you, our investors, we're really looking on advisory roles at this point as well on helping us best figure out the way to optimize our users for data streams, our data flows, in order to best cost out our either participation through cloud services or through AWS. Finally, we've got our build costs of an upstart of about $200,000 to $500,000 to get this app fully functional. And then finally, our basic overhead of a team of about 6 developers. Thank you so much.
So you compared your projected growth in terms of people using the app with Instagram, which is a very different sort of service. So I'm curious if you have other more comparable services that you've looked at in terms of your projections.
Sure. So one, there's not necessarily a lot of exact analogs in the marketplace for this that have seen much growth. But the Instagram comparison wasn't necessarily on the growth model itself, as much as saying that Instagram at this point already has about 60 million users, while we're saying at the same growth rate, we're at a much more conservative level than that. So we're trying to discount it from there, not saying that we aren't Instagram, but as a benchmark, Instagram's here and we're achieving this point.
So you're saying that you're looking at a growth rate that's comparable to Instagram's?
No, just the user base.
Yeah,
right?
user base.
Yeah.
You're saying that's an upper limit. That's
Yeah.
that's a proof point of an upper limit.
Yes, exactly.
What did you? And, well, speaking of that, so 2 questions about the whole geofencing. Just curious how you guys got to that insight. Why geofencing is a good idea, and why not just use sending money through Gmail, or why is it better than doing that? Especially if you're going to make the recipient have to physically be in that space. And talking about the geofencing, did you take that into account when you were did you use that as a discount with the growth rate?
Yeah, and so I think I'm trying to think. Yes, and so the 2 parts of that question. So the first part on the insights around the geofencing, we're still trying to be better than, let's say, a Square Cash, where this is financial transaction thing, but we do want to still achieve much more of that gifting experience. So by being the in-between on a Visa gift card and, let's say, a Chili's gift card, where you now either have full flexibility of just straight cash, or you have a branded experience or a branded gift, we're trying to be more product specific, or it's a productized gift. So being able to geofence will be a way for us to track. You're at a restaurant. Marco has gifted Evan some type of restaurant gift. He's at a restaurant of his choosing, which gives you the flexibility like a Visa gift card, when it is at least a themed product category. And so it's a little bit more of a real way, rather than for the gifting experience of a lot of the people we talk to don't want to give like a cash gift because it just doesn't feel very personal or nice. And so this is a way for the convenience of cash with an emotional connection of I'm giving a gift that I thought about for you.
We're also looking down the road to see, to track, and we're going to make recommendations. We're going to take a brand point of view on the cool places to go and make some recommendations. And then looking down the road, we're going to track where people start to go and where they choose, and then potentially partner with those merchants, maybe get revenue streams from them. So we want to actually drive feet into stores and merchants.
I know this is kind of a pessimistic view of things, but I mean, and I get it. You're focusing on the sender, the emotion of the sender by tying it specifically to product. I mean, but what's stopping me as a receiver just rolling up, checking in, getting the cash and cruising? And do you care? And maybe you don't care.
Yeah, exactly. We don't, and it's your relationship with your friend. So if you're okay doing that to your friend who gave you a gift, that's your prerogative.
Yeah, it's kind of like sending them return receipt with the physical.
Yeah,
gift.
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
And we've actually found that that's a pretty powerful connection. If you are sending it, they do have this emotional connection to their friend, and they do want to go in and they do want to get a beer that their friend got them.
and
It's like a guild.
take a picture with it, or, you know, we got some feedback.
And that's my question, is like, how can you really kind of amp up the emotive moment there? Like, to me, I would tap into Vine or something like that. Instead of doing the little text-based card that comes with, you could do that with Amazon, you could do that with
That's a
anything,
great
right?
idea.
Do like a little quick 6-second video and personalize that moment, because that's what the mass Amazons of the world don't have, right? And that's like really, you know. The other thing I was going to say too is the elevator pitch. You guys got to simplify it. But like the good news is you told the whole story. The bad news is you told the whole story, right? And it's like if you're going to get up and tell the story again right here, it's like how can you simplify that 3 points tops? Like most of the time when you write elevator pitches, it's like 1 to 2 sentences tops, right? So how can you get that more succinct? Because and even like I think how you started it with the people walking on, make it more about the pain points of, hey, what are you guys up to? Oh, I'm out shopping. Oh yeah, I've got, my brother just graduated, or I got a friend who just got a new job, but they're in New York. I don't know what to, it's like, oh, have you heard about, or, you know, like kind of hit those pain points that you're trying to solve with this product in a very colloquial way.
I think in that pitch, like there's a lot of other competition in the transactional payments. So you mentioned Square Cash. There's things with Square Cash has no, you know, you don't pay anything additional. So it needs to be clear what your value proposition is. Like you obviously have a very different product. It's very much more focused on the relationship, on the emotional connection there. I think that needs to be really important because I can also tip someone with Bitcoin in like 5 seconds with Dogecoin in like 5 seconds on Twitter through I think it's called like Dogebot or something. So there's a lot of ways to do that, and I think that needs to be really clear. I think another thing just on the UI that you talked about is I'd be curious to see like why you chose category first instead of person first or amount of money first. I think, for example, if you choose amount of money first, you've already narrowed down like the things that are available really drastically.
And that's all what the next phase we're doing is all distributor testing. We're trying to get this thing built up. And those like order type of functions is definitely where we really want to focus on.
Yeah, we've been going back and forth between having user first and category first, or we've tried a lot of different iterations and we had to slant there, but it's something we're definitely going around.
Flipping it around and playing with putting the user first, you could build on this more emotive experience and make it about the person that you're shopping for. You could even have like something where it's telling you what you've bought for that person before, or where that person likes to shop, all those kinds of things that can really be about them rather than about the money.
And if the geographical location of the recipient is a factor in where they can actually spend the money, then that needs to be a factor in what the sender is seeing as well. If you're sending money to your friend who lives in Dayton, Ohio, and they don't have any high-end fashion shops there, it's going to be a problem.
Or what out of those, you know, out of Facebook profile, Foursquare Chicken, whatever, what content can you kind of scrape from those to? I know you're kind of starting to get at that.
Yeah.
What can you scrape of those so you know, like, hey, maybe they don't like the higher end fashion, they like this, you know, this little thrift shop that they have that they always go back to.
And it could get people to spend more money
Right.
rather than starting.
Yeah, just a couple comments. I love your elevator pitch was actually really clear. It's one of the clearest ones I've seen yet in the program. So kudos on that. I get Tim as like a professional, so
Well, we had 60
you gotta
seconds.
take, you know,
We
you're in a
had
good,
60 seconds and we all 5 had to talk.
Yeah, we would love to get it down to the seconds
Okay.
as well.
Okay. You thought about each saying a word?
That's where we started, and like, we're going to dig for being 5 seconds long.
so what he's saying is great is not great enough, so keep going.
Okay.
And then the other thing is, you talk about like this potential to grow it, like retail relationships, bank relationships. Give us like the big, teeing off on the great comments about the emotion, give us the greatest emotional value of this in 50 years. What do you talked about that at the very beginning of the editor pitch, you're going to disrupt something. What's the revolution going to lead to, right? And then take us there and
Okay.
get us really excited, and then facts through like how you're gonna get there.
Okay.
Great job.
There was some other comments.
There's a question over here, Bill.
Oh,
From a student.
Yeah. So
Oh.
I wanted to clarify and just ask.
Bags
if
of
I
hot
were
air.
to use Lightning, I would have to open my GPS. I would have to open my GPS.
Yes.
So have you guys thought about other alternative ways? What happens because if I use my GPS to go with my battery, and I sometimes won't have it on all the time, have you guys thought of other alternative ways?
I guess it's not necessarily checking, or we're not asking you to track where we're like pushing you notifications all the time. It's purely on your check-in phase of like, yes, I'm here, so we ping a satellite, and then you can potentially turn it off from there. So it's not necessarily always, it's not always on. All we need is a check-in to say, yes, you're a validation from where you are. Maybe, depending on technology, like an iBeacon or something like that as well, we could do that, but I'm not sure.
So in order for me to know who's going around me, that would be.
Not to, it's less about the node. You could go, because you can go to any retailer that, let's say, it's go to a bar. It's purely to validate that you are at a bar so that we can release the cash to you. So that we're just proving that you're at least in a range of a valid retailer. Rather than at home, we kind of go click, click, I just got $20, click out kind of thing. To try and get your feet in the door.
Yeah, I guess the only alternative I can think of off the top of my head is some internet-enabled search function where you as a user have to queue in like whatever type of gift you're trying to redeem and find relevant merchants around different streams of that.
Yeah, that's one piece we're going to pull in, but that still requires your GPS.
Yeah, but it's just when you check in, only activate when you check in, so you exit.
Yeah.
Second your battery.
Yeah.
So just a couple, first of all, great job. I mean, I think really well done elevator pitch. I think the presentation was good and clear. A couple suggestions, introduce yourselves earlier. You know, it's nice to know who we're listening to. And we got to it, but it was sort of 7 slides into the deck. And then when you talk about the market, I think the market is bigger than the than what you present. I mean, you basically present how many users you'll have, but isn't the market $1 billion or 100 million or something?
But it's, yeah, and I agree. We kind of went conservative with this. Like otherwise, if like it's $1 billion, then we just look absurd at the same time. Of like,
Well,
I don't. Yeah, I would love your advice on that. On like, what's the
Well, that's
balance?
what you
Like
create
looking
the
like
big-
crazy startup kids versus like what's practically like you can make some.
No, but I mean, it's, okay, I mean, 10 million is either attainable or unattainable, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
WhatsApp got to 455 million
Yeah.
in 4 years.
But if
So-
you tell us that vision, then that billion seems plausible.
Yeah, just kind of justifiable.
Yeah,
So,
that's, I'm echoing
Okay.
your point.
Okay.
That's great.
Cool.
Because we're worried about trying to like size it because like everyone gets right to
Well,
cultural.
don't say you're going to have 1 billion users. You're not going to have 100% of the market, but there's more of them than you did.
Sure.
Cool.
Okay, we got to move on. Thank you.